Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy E2 Blue, and this is another video about the coaching debacle of the offseason. So, right now, of course, as you know, before I get into all the coaching changes that's been going on this offseason so far, this early offseason, I should say, I wanted to give a shout out to and rest in peace to Jim Garrett. Those of you young Cowboy fans that don't know who Jim Garrett is, he is the father of Cowboys coach Jason Garrett and Judd Garrett. His legacy is far beyond what any of us could imagine. I mean, everybody knows who he was. He's more notably known for being the Cowboys Scout from '87 to 2004. He was probably one of the longest running scouts that the Cowboys have ever had. He was a very personable individual. Everybody loved Jim Garrett. Jim Garrett would talk to everybody. You know, he was just that type of guy. You know, um, you can tell the type of person he was just by how Jason Garrett is. Now, I know a lot of you fans don't like Jason Garrett, but you got to give it to him. I mean, this guy knows how to talk to people. He knows how to keep that locker room in shape and get those players to do what they need to do on a daily basis. You know, he knows how to get the team riled up, and that's the things that Jim Garrett used to do. When Jim Garrett had his house in New Jersey, he had a beach house, and he had a backyard where he just literally had like a field in the back, and Jason Garrett was saying that his father Jim used to have kids from all over the area come and just people that not even really good at football or never even played the game. You know, he taught so many kids to play the game and teach them, you know, whatever position they were. You know, wide receiver, teach them route running, defensive techniques because he was a defensive minded individual. But you know, he just knew the game of football in general. So I mean, him himself, you know, he played for Rutherford High School in the '40s, and I think he was a linebacker and a tailback, I believe. And Jim Garrett, he played high school and then he played for Utah State. Then after his college career was over, he ended up going to being defensive coordinator for Giants for a couple of years. He had a brief stint with the Saints, and then he did, I think, 7 years with the Browns, you know, coaching on their defensive staff. And then, of course, after that, and that was, you know, in '87 when he became the Cowboys scout and stayed until 2004 and was under Gil Brandt. Um, Rest in peace. I mean, like I said, I never got to meet him in person, but you know, just being around, you know, just knowing, just being a Cowboy fan and just hearing the history and just you know hearing these people's stories and everything that they're going through, like it's really a breath of fresh air for real to you know just see the legacy that they had. But too bad that you know there's no spot in the Hall of Fame for a scout. You know that's the thing. Like he he's not going to be in the Hall of Fame for anything. So you know a lot of people that are not close to the team to see these things, they're not going to know his legacy. But you know, I know a lot of the players that he coached up, you know, like Miles Austin. Miles Austin came about, he was one of the guys that came to his house because Miles Austin is from New Jersey and he went to Monmouth and, you know, he worked with Jim Garrett and that's what helped him, you know, with his game. And, you know, when he played for the Cowboys and got that big contract and that breakout year and that breakout game against Kansas City when he had 3 touchdowns and you know, and now he's on the Cowboys staff as well. So, you know, Cowboys always had like a rich tradition with their players and their coaches. As you can see, a lot of players that don't play no more come back and they, you know, try to coach for the team. I mean, we got offensive line. We got Mark Colombo on the staff. We got Miles Austin, like I said, and of course Leon Lett. You know, he's been coaching the defensive line for a couple of years now. But yeah, so that's my piece on Jim Garrett. But let's get into the coaching switches. One thing that that really got my attention with the whole Matt Eberflus thing. Now, like I said in one of my last videos, I really like Matt Eberflus as our linebackers coach. The Cowboys actually allowed him to break. He had one more year on his contract. They actually allowed him to venture off and do some other things. I mean, I guess that was good of them to do. I know the Cowboys really wanted him on the staff, and I know us Cowboy fans, we did too, because Eberflus really made a difference in that linebacking with that linebacking core. But the thing that got me that was really funny, I was just thinking about this the other day, with him going to the Colts. I feel like he was going to the Colts because him and Josh McDaniels is like this. So Josh McDaniels, I mean, you guys probably know by now that Josh McDaniels stepped out of the contract that he was going to go to be the head coach for the Colts, and he decided to stay the offensive coordinator with the Patriots. And that's funny because most people that are coordinators, you're not going to stop the chance to go be a head coach somewhere to stay and be a coordinator somewhere unless you're getting obviously some money, some incentives, or something's going on. So, in my opinion, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors. I don't work for these teams, and I'm not in the NFL. But I mean, common sense will tell you something went down. You know, Patriots owner Robert Kraft probably was like, he probably walked up to him and was like, "Hey, Bill Belichick may not be here for too much longer." He probably told him, "Hey, you could get the head coaching job when he leaves." And I'm pretty sure that he, probably gave him some bonus money or something like that, which makes sense. I mean, he's already been with the Patriots. He knows that team very well. For whatever reason, he decided to stay. So then that screwed the Colts. So what the Colts ended up doing is they got the offensive coordinator from the Super Bowl champion Eagles, Frank Reich. So they took Frank Reich, and now he's the head coach for the Colts. Now, how this ties to the Cowboys is like I said before, Matt Eberflus, officially, unofficially, a lot of the coaching staffs aren't solidified right now anyway. But I'm pretty sure that he signed that contract to be the defensive coordinator for the Colts. So you got to think that, what is Matt Eberflus thinking in his head? Like, hey, I kind of came here to be the defensive coordinator, yes, but I came here with Josh McDaniels. So you and Josh McDaniels, it's almost like he got the sheet pulled over his head. It's like, okay, I came here because you're here, and also I got the defensive coordinator job, but then you retracted, and now you're staying with your team, and Matt Eberflus left the Cowboys to go to the Colts, and now he's kind of in a situation where it's like, okay, well, I came here to play under you, and now you're not even here. So now, I don't know how those coaching contracts work. I don't know, because there's been a lot of backing out going on. I don't know if Matt Eberflus could back out and come back to the Cowboys. But the thing about that is, Cowboys already filled his position with his assistant that was there before, Ben Bloom. He is now the Cowboys linebacker coach. And if you remember, a couple of weeks before that, we signed Chris Richard from the Seattle Seahawks, their old coordinator. Now we have them on our defensive staff. Now that is one of the coaches that I'm going to really love him being here in Dallas, because I really think that he can get our young DBs in check. But like I said, he's not a defensive coordinator yet because Rob Marinelli is still on the staff. We don't know if he's going to retire after this year. But either way, common sense will tell you that Chris will probably step into that role once he leaves. But it's just really funny to me that with this whole Matt Eberflus thing, like, what is he going to do? Is he going to come back to the Cowboys? Is he going to stay where he is? But I guess we'll see as the offseason progresses and see what happens, because, like I said, free agency is coming up, I think, next week. We got to figure out what we're going to do with our players, because we got to keep DeMarcus Lawrence, and we got to keep DeMarcus Lawrence. I mean, either franchise tag him or give him a contract. I mean, we still got to re-sign Zach Martin. I mean, there's a lot that we have to think about. I mean, Des Bryant doesn't want to do a pay cut. I mean, that's the thing about it is we already have, I think, $13.5 million worth of dead money on the cap right now because of the simple fact that we're still paying that Romo stuff back. That's $8 million right there, even though Romo's not on the team. Nolan Carroll, his contract I think was like, I think he's like 2.4 million against the cap that we still have to pay for this year. And who else? There's another player too, but whatever. Those totals equal to it's just three players that are not here no more that we're still paying back dead money for. So that's 13 million in the hole right there. So I mean, we just got to figure out something. But the problem about restructuring all these contracts is you're gonna have to pay that back in the end, and that's what happened with Tony Romo. Because you remember when Tony Romo was here, we kept paying it forward, paying it forward, paying it forward. Now it's time to pay up, and that's what we're doing. So I don't know. I hope they figure out something. My biggest thing with the whole linebacker situation is Anthony Hitchens. Like I really want him to be here, but and I'm pretty sure the coaching staff does too. But he's going to be hard to sign because he's going to demand a lot of money in free agency, and because Matt Eberflus is now with the Colts, and you know he loved him some Anthony Hitchens. So I'm pretty sure that he's gonna go try to get Anthony Hitchens and bring him to the Colts, and then we're gonna be sitting there with the Kevin Hart face like, we ain't re-sign him fast enough. Now I'm gonna be really pissed off if Anthony Hitchens goes to the Colts. Now, remember Anthony Hitchens did go to Iowa State, so he's a Midwest guy, and if he goes to the Colts, that might be enticing to him because of the simple fact that he'll be closer to home. But at the end of the day, me and I know that a lot of you other Cowboy fans out there don't want him to go nowhere. But like I said, there's not many because I'm gonna be doing some draft stuff soon coming up. Um, but the thing is, there's not many good linebackers coming out the draft this year. So we're definitely gonna have to do something in free agency. But again, we're money strapped. So you're gonna overpay for a player, probably not. But at the end of the day, that's just where we're at. Let me see you guys next time. Probably gonna do another video sometime this week before the end of the week. But go ahead and hit that subscribe button, follow your boy. Until next time, I'm out.